What's going down, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Holmes Hobbies Motor Control. It's your boy Josh, aka Coleman, hanging out in the studio working on the Axial SEX 10.2 XJ, the build we've been working on for a while now, actually. And we're gonna go over some wiring stuff today. I pretty much got it figured out now, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing basically. So let's jump over the bench. All right. So as we can see, it's a mess over here. The bench is absolutely full of stuff. And that is because, well, this is how it looks when I work. And sorry if you can't hear me very well. It's because I have a directional mic and I'm standing behind it. But it took me a while to figure that out. So here is the frame setup here for the SEX 10.2 XJ. And for those of you that aren't familiar with it, here's the rest of it here. It's the hard body from ELLIOTT's homemade interior floor pan, firewall tunnel. It has axial seats, has 3D printed dash, center console, and rear seat. And I'm sorry, I can't forget, I can't remember the gentleman's name that did it. It's a gentleman up in Canada, but I did talk about it in an earlier video. And then it also comes with door panels, which I cracked one, kind of sucks. Comes with door panels, they're 3D printed, and I'm going to be running 3D printed flares, possibly. I've got to modify them from Night Customs. I really like them, so I'm going to try to run those. And then, we'll talk about this later. I have a, I'll do that in a Camp on Coleman episode. I have a system that I'm working on. So anyways, here is the chassis and everything, all just with nothing on top of it. So electronics are all sitting here, and everything except for the lights. There's no lights anywhere in this equation yet. So what we have is the Holmes Hobbies Polar Pro. This is that 3500 kV, so really high kV motor. Usually meant for something fast, right? It goes through a Team Raffi 10-to-1 gear reduction unit. Someone tried to correct me on that and say that I was saying it wrong. I actually checked with Jason, the owner of ELLIOTT, and they told me it was Team Raffi. So yeah, we've got a drive shaft. This is my ESP anti-spur setup, just using components I have laying around. This drive shaft is a Holmes Hobbies drive shaft. People keep asking me about that too. This Holmes Hobbies drive shaft, you can get these at ELLIOTT's. Axial SEX 10 transmission, all built, has Boom Racing, they call them pineapple cut, but they're helical cut gears. And then Team KAINE hardware. It's got, if I remember right, this has a Holmes Hobbies spool in it as well. And then we've got a leaf spring conversion, just home brewed out of stuff I had laying around, chopped up parts from an old RC 4-wheel drive trail stomper chassis. People have asked me about that a few times, just randomly. It's all still, keep in mind this is still mocked up, and all the finishing touches and everything, all the kinks will be worked out in the end, and then I'll go through and fasten it all up with nice hardware and all that stuff, and clean it up, paint it up, all that. So this is already made rear bumper, random, they look like chain links, but they're actually leaf spring mounts or perches or whatever you want to call them, that I'm using as body mounts for now. Eventually I'm going to do some cage work on here with my buddy Jared. And then it has, that already made beer bottle opener, which is really cool. Just wild bores right now for the bottom, factory housings for the axles, factory links, nothing crazy. And then up front also has already made front bumper, and then it has already made rock sliders. So there is your quick update on this. It's running a BLE Pro, Holmes Hobbies Trailmaster BLE Pro. This is my favorite ESC like ever right now. Oh, there you can see it. So, and then it's also running a SHV 500. This is a V1, a version 1 SHV 500, but I have yet to have any problems even with those. But some people have had issues because they're so powerful that they'd break the pin inside, which you'll see people talk about that on Facebook as well. Actually, even on my post today, there was somebody talking about that. And it's not a bad problem to have. They're extremely powerful servos. They're 12-volt direct powered servos. They're brushless. They're awesome. Yeah. So, anyways, the new version, just to clarify, the new version, the V2, that's been addressed and fixed. So, let's get into the electronics that I've not mentioned now. This right here is a BR Mini, a dual BR Mini, actually. There's two of them there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on that. There we go. You can see there's two of them stacked on top of each other with the center board, connecting board. So dual BR Mini. So there's a total of 3 ESCs right now on this truck, or on this Jeep. And then has a Warn 9.5 CTI winch up front. This is an awesome winch. And in the back, it has a Warn 9.5 CTI mini winch mounted upside down right there. And yeah, that's what I've got for electronics so far. Oh, and then this is a ProTech, it's just a capacitor, but they call it a receiver voltage stabilizer. So yeah, basically, like, you know, the old days of Novak, they call these glitch busters, and really it's just it's a capacitor, so it helps maintain steady voltage so you don't get any big voltage drops because of draw from all these other electronics, right? So this will help you get nice, steady, smooth power no matter what to your everything. Basically, it'll help that process. And then, yeah, combine that with everything else, good electronics, and this thing should be pretty dang amazing. And then as far as battery power goes, we're going to be using, most likely, we're going to be using this Eco Power. This is a 14.8 volt, aka 4S, 4100 milliamp 4-cell. So, yeah, it's 35C. It's a big boy, super big. Yeah, I think that's it for electronics. That's what I'm doing in this, minus all the lights. There's a whole bunch of lights. We'll get into that in some other episode, possibly Camping with Coleman. So yeah, that is it. And what we've been trying to figure out for a while now is how are we going to run dual winches on this front and rear, right, and make this work. And I've been trying to get a receiver here, but I've kind of, yeah, I still haven't got it here yet. We'll just say that. So I hope I'm gonna get it here soon enough. So, but once I get the receiver here, I'll have it all set up. But for now, I have the radio, and I'm gonna have it hooked up to another truck, and I'm just gonna explain it to you. So hold on a second. All right. So this is the radio that I'm planning on using. This is the Sanwa MT44. I did a video on this actually just recently. I really like it. If you want to know all the details about it or whatever, you can go watch that there. But I'm hopefully going to be using this to control all these Holmes Hobbies electronics. So to control this winch, I'm going to be, we'll get into that in a second. So here's how this is going to work, all right? Try to just stay with me here, okay? There's a lot of wires here to run through, all right? So first off, we're going to have our receiver, which is going to be in here, which I don't have right now, but the receiver is going to be in here, okay? So just know that, all right? Receiver is 4 channels, so everything has to work on 4 channels, okay? So we have, let's see if I can get all these here. Boom, let me get these all separated again. This long one is for that, yes. Yes, yes. Okay, alright. This is for that as well. Alright, so what we need to do to run this winch is we need to get power to this BR Mini. So in order to do that, we've got a multitude of wires coming off. These 2 wires right here are coming off the back of this BR Mini, alright? I just have it ran between here. So you've got 2 there. These are going to go to the front winch. This right here. I will have to do some modifying, but eventually these will be wired into each other, right? That will go to the front winch, comes to the back, all right? Then we have these 2 wires right here. These 2 wires are going to somehow come around and go to this wire right here, which is the back winch, all right? Boom. So there's winches, both winches are hooked to the BR Mini at that point, okay? Now, these 2 wires right here, these big wires, are going to tie in to the battery. Okay, they're going to plug into the 4S battery basically. All right, there'll be a 4S battery sitting back here somewhere. These are going to tie into the 4S battery. Now also, this set of cables right here comes from the brushless ESC. These are going to tie into the main battery, the 4S battery. So now we have, these are all going to the main 4S battery. All right. Now, on top of that, we have this little guy needs to go to the main 4S battery. This is for the SHV500. Now, I might be pushing it with that. I'm pretty sure we're good to run it at 4S though, so we're going to try. And boom. So all these now are going up to that 4S battery. Okay. Now, all these down here that we see are signal wires, basically. They're going to have to go to the RX, or the receiver, right? One from the servo, one from the front winch, one from the back winch, and then one from the main ESC where I will control my throttle, right? So all those are going to have to go back there somehow. And then this is somehow, which I'm not sure if that's going to be a possibility, but I really want to get this plugged into the receiver as well as a glitch buster to help, you know, as a voltage stabilizer to help ensure that I don't have any massive voltage drops or any chatter amongst all these items right here, all these products, right? It's just a lot of electronics in there. I want to minimize the chatter, you know, the interference I might get. So that is the plan here, and I'm going to be doing that tonight is the goal. So you guys know me, I don't like to do it on camera because I suck, but and I usually don't get it done in time when I say I'm going to do that, and this video won't be up till tomorrow. So, but that is the plan, all right? And I've had a lot of people asking me how I'm planning on doing this. I even put a post up on Facebook asking if anyone's ever ran these worn 9.5 CTI winches on a 4S setup before, because technically speaking they're only rated for 3S. So just a disclaimer here, all right? RC 4-wheel drive didn't ask me to say this or anything, but just a disclaimer: do not do what I'm doing. There's a good chance these motors could smoke out, and if the motors don't smoke out, there's a good chance that the gears could grind out. I had a buddy on Facebook say that he had that issue. I know about that because that right there has blown gears in both motors, not one but both motors. So, and that is for the worn the big boy, the big monster one. I don't even remember what it's called right now, but anyways, that's what we've got going on here. That's how I'm going to wire this up. So if anyone is wondering how I'm doing it, that is how I'm going to do that. You can just kind of play that back, and hopefully you can figure that out. When I have it all done, of course, I'm going to go over it and show you guys the final product all wired up without the body on, you know, and of course we'll go over the stereo in another episode. But once it's all functioning, I'll put it all together and I'll show you guys the final, you know, wire layout on this thing. But right now, I just finally got it all figured out today, and I know I'm going to do it. And as far as controlling it, the reason why I'm going for these BR Minis as opposed to going for the traditional winch controllers, right? Like KOK or RC 4-wheel drive ones, is because on this radio, I'm going to have it set up to where I will be able to I'll be able to turn the winch channel on, right? So say I want to run, I want to drive it and I don't want to worry about hitting any winches at all, right? I can turn off both channels, right? And then have it to where no matter what, I can't accidentally hit a button and turn a winch on and break a cable or something like that, right? Break some, you know, gears or something like that. So the second reason, the main reason why I want it like that is because it's going to be variable, right? So that's really, the radio is more of the reason why, it's more of the reason why I'll be able to shut this stuff off. It doesn't have anything to do with the ESC, but the ESC is going to allow me to have variable control, and combined with this radio, what I'll be able to do, it's not set up like that right now. Right now I have it set up in quarters, I think. Yeah, see, it goes from 0 to 75 to 100. No, 0, 25, 75, 100, I don't know. Yeah, it's all messed up, but it will be set up to where I can have it go 0 to 100, 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 100, 0 to 20, to 40, to 60, whatever, all the way up. So I can totally tune this, and what that does is allows me to say I want to use the front winch. I can go here and click the button, boom. Okay, now front winch is armed, and I can go here, click it once, and it'll barely start moving, just barely. Move it a little bit more, and it'll come out some more. Move it a little bit more, it'll come out some more. Move it more, you know, and then once I hit 100, it's at full power. You know, 4S running through this, screaming it out like that, right? So I can control the amount of speed that I put on it. So if I want it to go really slow, I can. If I want it to go really fast, I can. And it's all done with this little dial right here, which is really nice. So that's the main reason why I'm going for the BR Minis. The other reason is because out of every winch control I've ever used, every ESC I've ever used, hooking a BR Mini up to my truck as a winch controller has been the best thing I've ever done. You guys have seen me do it in the past. The Jeep Liberty, several rigs so far I've done that on, and it's awesome. They're waterproof, in case you didn't catch that yet. They're waterproof little ESCs. And they're really small and compact. That's 2 ESCs right there. I mean, that little tiny thing. And they're capable of some serious power. The issue is you really need to keep an eye on them because there's no heat sinks, there's no anything. So, you know, you're going to get a lot of heat out of those if you run a lot of power through them consistently. So you definitely want to keep an eye on that. Make sure they're in an area where they get a lot of air and not bunched up against a lot of other things that are going to generate heat. I personally am not sure if I'm going to run it here because I have it right next to this gear reduction unit, which may or may not generate a lot of heat. We'll see. So anyways, that, you guys, is how I'm going to be running this. That is the final layout. That's what I'm doing, or that's the final, you know, decision right there. Unfortunately, I just still don't have a receiver, and yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to go with that one or not. We'll see. I see another radio coming out soon. It's a 6-channel as opposed to 4, in which case I could still run 2 more things off of this, like lights, which would be really cool. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I'm up in the air. But you guys, that is it for today. I just wanted to give you the rundown on this. I'm going to sit down and finish wiring this up. Yeah, well, I got to get this video up first, and then I'm going to get back to it and get this all wired up. And be following my Instagram at ESP_RC, and follow my Facebook, Extreme Scale Performance. That way you guys can see all the pictures and stuff, because I will be posting pictures. So, all right. You know what it is, everybody. Peace and chicken grease. Yeah.